Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Phil and I'm a second year PhD student in neuroimmunology, striving to build additional income sources in my free time and live a productive and happy life. In this video, I will share a product idea that I've been developing for several months now and show you my process of developing a physical product from the idea to launching my first online store. Towards the end, I will share with you why I almost quit and what you can learn from that. This is exactly what my intention was for this channel: real life documentation of trial and error, entrepreneurship in progress and from scratch. So let's get into it. I want to upcycle gin bottles from local bars into high quality, environmentally friendly candles. How did I come up with the idea? Gin tonic has always been my favorite drink. I don't drink or go to a bar often, but when I do, in 99% of cases, I will order a gin and tonic. I always have 2 or 3 different gins at home, and I've always admired the different designs of the various gin brands, and I've been always hesitant to just dump them into the trash once they're empty. They usually have extraordinary designs and often remind me of great times with friends or whatever occasion people offered a specific gin to me as a gift. I tried to just ram in a candlestick, but this wasn't satisfying at all. Then the idea of cutting the bottles and filling them with wax came to my mind. How did I start executing on the idea? In the book Anything You Want, Derek Sivers explains how ideas are just a multiplier of execution. To make a business, you need both components, the idea and the execution. Both are worthless without the other. I consider this an average idea. There are many videos on YouTube on how to cut bottles and make candles out of them, but the execution is not completely trivial, as I found. First, I did a quick internet search to see whether anybody sold candles made from gin bottles. There are some pictures on Pinterest and some low-budget websites selling gin candles, but that niche doesn't seem to be all too crowded, and I didn't find a nice online store like the one I want to build. To learn cutting glass bottles, I started by trying different techniques that I found on YouTube, but none of them really worked to an extent where I could imagine cutting multiple bottles in a short time reliably. Most brands also have their own bottle shapes, making it even more difficult. So I built several prototypes in my dad's basement, and after weeks of experimentation, I found the system that worked pretty well. Meanwhile, I was experimenting with different kinds of soy wax. I chose soy because it is said to be more environmentally friendly than oil-derived paraffin and has little odor. The trend shows that people prefer soy wax over paraffin because soy candles develop less soot, are derived from vegetal soybeans instead of non-renewable crude oil, and are associated with fewer health-related issues like headaches. One additional idea to make this a better product is the scent. I wanted it to remind of the juniper berry-rich odor of gin, with a fresh note composed among others of grapefruit. I ordered in total 44 different essential oils until I found a scent that I really liked. I dug into the science of perfume making, read about how to compose a balanced scent out of a head, heart, and base note, and all that good stuff. It's not perfect, but I liked it and got fairly decent feedback from the people that sampled it. This brings me to a thought that I applied all through this process of building my first product. Done is better than perfect. When I look back, I didn't pull through with so many things I felt really passionate about. Most importantly, playing music. I was always so hesitant with putting my music out there, letting people hear what I was doing, always claiming that I just needed more time to get this right, 1 more year of vocal training, couple more songs written until one was good enough to be released into the public. Ed Sheeran once said that starting to write songs is like opening a faucet for the first time. First, only dirty, smelly, disgusting water comes out, and you need to get all of it out in order to get to the fresh, clean water that you can offer to your guests. There is no shortcut to the good stuff. You first need to get the first bunch of sucky ideas out and learn a lot in the process. If you wait for your best idea, your execution will suck because you have literally no experience. I could have made so many great experiences, met other musicians, gotten into different projects, bands, shows, recording studios that would have brought my passion to a whole new level. Letting in experiences that are just unobtainable if you're sitting alone in your dorm room, being scared that people might not like what you do. That's really what guided me along this process, because that's really what it is, a process, not a finished product, and I'm an amateur, not a pro, so I'm not even trying to pretend I was. Think progress, not perfection. Ryan Holiday, the obstacle is the way. Okay, enough of my self-development story, back into candle making. I became acquainted with the guy owning the delivery pickup location as I ordered over 70 packages with various candle making supplies and tools to cut and grind glass, but also different kinds of product and shipping boxes, filling material, product logos, business and thank you cards and all that stuff. So that has pretty much been my life. Oh, now the battery died. That's what it looks like when you have just, when I have just one light, which is the softbox, by the way. Let me get the second battery that I ordered, which I'm very happy about now. Yeah, so where was I? How did I start building the brand? Well, that is still an ongoing process that needs a lot of learning. One great companion in all of this was Canva, which is an Australian company that built a design platform helping non-designers like me build great logos, thank you cards, or social media presence. You should definitely check them out because they offer so much stuff for free. I didn't sign up for the first months that I used their services and I got so much done, but eventually I did sign up, which is a huge thing, which everyone that knows me would agree with. I hate paying for things because there's just endless amounts of value you get everywhere for free, but they are truly great. And a quick look at my subscriber count is enough to say that they are not paying me for saying this. Actually, just this morning, a box arrived from Canvas, the first physical product from them. Until now, I mostly used Canva to build logos and stuff, but now I ordered thank you cards from them, so let's check them out. So let me open it quickly. Wow, this is great packaging. This is also something I got really interested in everything that I open since I started doing this kind of things, because it's kind of an inspiration how brands like Canva are doing their stuff. I also bought this for my candles. I think it looks really nice. So these are my thank you cards. They have an amazing service as well. They wrote me an email with a screenshot from this card saying that one font was too small and maybe people wouldn't be able to read it. 100% impressed with their service. So this is actually what I'm going to hang on the candles, so around the packaging. Fairly early on, maybe even a couple of days after the idea started growing in my mind, the brand name came to me at the gym. Gin Souls. Maybe it's cheesy, I don't know, but collecting empty gin bottles, having accomplished their initial purpose and repurposing them into something new that would bring light and comfort into people's home sparked the thought of a new soul lit up inside these bottles. I'm terrible with naming stuff. I still call my cat Cat. I've never come up with a band name and I played in 3, so I was ecstatic that I had a name that I didn't hate after sleeping on it. Cat. Right, Cat? He hates this. Nice. I went home that day, and after a quick search on how to buy an internet domain, I went with the domain registration over Shopify, which is where I planned on opening up my online shop anyways, and it costs me $14 a year. I designed this logo on Canva, ordered some stickers, a box, some filling material, and sent some to my family to see if the candles would arrive safely. I set up my branding in Canva so that I would use the same colors and fonts to solidify the branding. And again, guys, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I've never done anything like it, and I really sucked in art class. But done is better than perfect, right? And 20% drive 80% of the results. Just remember that. I mean, I basically have two choices. One, being scared of designing an ugly thank you card, so I'm not designing a thank you card and having no thank you card, or trying to get creative and make a maybe 30% nice thank you card and thus having a thank you card for my customers. I would always go for the second choice, most of all because at the end probably your thank you card isn't going to suck as much as you think. This looks okay, and I think customers will really appreciate that I wrote them a thank you card for buying this product. Then after I was more or less done with the online shop and I was close to launching it, the first big obstacle fell in my way. One thought periodically crossed my mind all this time. Is it even legal to sell candles with logos from companies? Stupidly enough, I really started digging deeper just before launching my online store. I simply called some lawyers who were surprisingly helping me out without having to pay $1,000 per minute, as I had feared, and to say the least, it was very problematic. Even if a company wasn't entitled to claiming copyright infringement, which many probably would be, would I really want to risk getting a letter from their lawyer and fight this in court? That was really a downer, and to be honest, I thought it was over. The only thing that came to my mind was to ask each and every company for permission to use their bottles. So I wrote an email to one gin company to test the water, and one day later the rejection came. I was devastated and ready to give up, which is mostly what I did during summer, trying to look for a new idea that I could sink my teeth into. I don't know why, but one morning I woke up and thought to me why I gave up so quickly, even though I knew that being an entrepreneur was all about running into obstacles and being able to pivot. Or as Ryan Holiday says in the book, The Obstacle is the Way, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve your condition. I sent one email to one company and gave up. What a shame. Maybe this company was just too big and my email landed in the inbox of one employee in the PR department who is not that passionate about the brand anyway, and so it's easier and less risky to just say no. Maybe when I reach one of the founders by talking to smaller brands, they would be more willing to help a fellow entrepreneur. And even better, working with smaller local brands fits perfectly into the narrative of the brand anyways, which is upcycling, environmentally friendly and local. I researched local gin distilleries and wrote them an email, and all of them responded very positively. They all wanted me to come by and show them my product and offered me empty bottles that they often got back from customers. They were very interested because for them it was a win-win situation, because my candles would be free publicity for their gin brand, so why would they have something against the idea? Most of them even said they would want to buy candles as a gift for their customers or sell the candles in their own store and link my online store on their website. We could also offer bundles of both the gin and the candle. This got me super excited, of course, and I began to devote a lot of my time again to this idea and finally could start documenting my progress here on this channel, which I had in mind all along. Currently, I'm in contact with a concept store in the city where I live that sells one of the gin brands that I work with, and hopefully they will soon sell my Gin Salts candles. And maybe at some point all 5 brands that I work with could be sold in this store. That would be really cool. So that's it for now. The first idea that I finally felt confident enough could be a cool product and that I now have almost up for sale. Upcycled candles, handmade from empty gin bottles using environmentally friendly wax and a scent inspired from the botanicals used to distill gin. Currently I find myself procrastinating more and more because I am faced with a lot of situations that I have never encountered before and have no experience in, like how to determine the price of my product, whether the quality is good enough to be sold at a high-end concept store in the city center, and basically putting the idea out there, because that's what actually still lies ahead of me, launching the online store that is almost ready and finding out whether people are interested in their product or not. But I'm thinking a lot about a quote from one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, which I will also leave you with. Today, I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. From Marcus Aurelius. In the next video, I hope I can show you some progress with the website, maybe show you my candles in the store I was talking about, maybe show you my new packaging that I got, and so on. I hope you find any value in this story. If you like this type of content, I'd be happy to hear so in the comments. If you got something you're working on yourself, I'd be more than happy to discuss ideas. And as always, thank you for listening and see you next time.